Here's how to recreate this ad right here in After Effects. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is king_Sam and I make motion graphics and graphic design related content right here on YouTube. If you want to contact me, the easiest way to do that is by joining my motion design community. The link is in the video description. A scene that was used in this video was made live here on YouTube last week Sunday, and I'll be having another live this week Sunday, that's tomorrow. And without talking too much, let's jump right into the video. Okay, so for our first animation, I just want to have our shoe. So let's just do an outline of the shoe, something like this. And it's just going to have multiple different color outlines around it like this. So, right, it's going to be like 3 or 4. So it's going to be scale, and it's going to be scaled up. So it's going to be like. So secondly, I want to, in this place might be too everywhere might be too empty. So I'll have to have something either up here or down here, but I think down here will be better. Now, last live class that I did on Sunday, I showed you guys how to create some animations for our scene 4 here. So this one's now we're going to be like, it's going to be part of the resource we made for that video. So if you want to check out how to make that, because I'm not going to make it again because the video will become too long, you can check out the video. I will link the video in the video description. So I'm going to just draw a basketball here. It doesn't look like a basketball, but you get the idea. Now for my second scene here, I'm just going to make multiple rectangles like this. Make space like this. And I'm just going to put shoes around. So now these shoes are going to be scrolling down, while this shoe scrolling up like this, and this one also will be scrolling down. Let's say down, up, down, like that. So for our third scene here, I'm just going to use text. So this new shoe collect. So it's going to scroll from here to here now. So that is this way. So this one now, I might not need to create it from beginning again. In this as scene 4, we had this text animation that we used here, so I'm just going to reuse that. So for scene 4 here, we have already created it. I already created it on Sunday. Check out the video if you haven't. And for our final scene, I'm going to end on the Nike logo. So now it's going to like scale in from the edges like this. So it's going to move in like from big to small. Now it's going to also have a mask. It will mark scene 4. Use mask scene 4. So, and can I end with a trim part animation? And bits, trim parts. So I think now we can move into After Effects. So we're going to create a new solid, any color, and I'm just going to apply gradient ramp on the solid, and I'm just going to change the color to something that looks like this. Click on OK, change this to radial, and let's swap the color so we have something that looks like this. This is amazing. So now we can just lock this, and next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my shoe. So let's go back to our projects here, and I'm just going to drag in my PNG here. Now I'm going to move this above this, and I'm going to open my scale property, and I'm just going to change this to 23. I'm going to make a keyframe here, come down to 0.15 frames here, change this to 24, come to the beginning here, and I'm just going to change this to 0. Now I'm going to open up my rotation also. Now I'm going to come here to the middle here, and I'm just going to make keyframe at 0, come down here, make a keyframe at 3, come to beginning here, and I'm going to make a keyframe at 24. Now select the two of them, hit F9 to easy ease, and I'm going to enter the graph editor for my scale. and I'm just going to drag this back like this a little bit, like this. So now we have this cool looking animation like this. Now I'm going to duplicate this 3 times. I'm just going to offset all of them by 4 frames. I'm going to create a new null object, and I'm just going to move the null object above the second one here, and I'm going to parent this second one to my null object. Open up my scale property. I'm going to change this to 120. Now I'm going to unlink it from my null object. Take this back down to 100. Move this down. Link that to the null, and I'm going to change this to 130. Move this down. Can unlink this from the null. Change this back to 100. Link this to my null, and I'm going to change this to 135, like that. So I can now select this and delete. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to move all the anchor point to the tip of this shoe here. So for this one now, I'm going to move the anchor point here. So here also I'm going to move the anchor points here. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to my effect and preset panel here also, and I'm just going to type in fill. Now for this next 3, I'm just going to apply fill on all of them. Now for the one directly under, I'm going to make it white, but not fully white, something like this. Yeah. Next one, I'm going to pick this color on the shoe here, and for the final one, I'll just take another color from the shoe, and I'm going to take from the dark part of the shoe, so it's very, very dark. So I feel like all these other ones are bigger than the shoe by far. What I'm going to do is create a new null object again, move it down, select 3 of them, parent the 3 of them to our null objects, open our scale property, and I'm just going to scale it down a bit. Let's say something like this. So now I can just delete this one. So next I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow an asset that we made in our former design. So this design here, if you want to know how to make this asset, you can watch the other video. I'll leave the link in my video description, or I'll add the card right here. I'm just going to copy it from here, and I'm just going to paste it here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new null object again, link the 2 of them to the null objects, increase their scale by a bunch, and I can just delete this, and I'm just going to move this up like this. I think right here will be okay. Now let's move this down behind the shoe. Now next I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new adjustment layer, and on my adjustment layer here I'm going to add fast box blur, and I'm just going to increase this until it's blurred out a little bit, so something like this. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come to after the animation here. I'm going to select everything I'm using here, and apart from the background layer, and I'm just going to cut it and delete the excess. I'm going to select the menu, left click, go to pre-compose. You can call this scene 1, move all attributes, blah blah blah, click on OK. Now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the background for scene 2, so that is Ctrl+Y. I'm going to make this very, very bright, so like white here. Let's move this back, so like here. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my rectangles. So let's go to our rectangle tool here, make sure nothing's selected down here, so let me simply create a mask, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle like this. Simple rectangle, not too much headache. Now, go to move it to the side here. In case you cannot see these lines, you just to go to title action save here and toggle it on or off. Now I can come here and I'm going to duplicate this, select this and move it down like here, then duplicate that again, select that and move it down also like this. Now I'm going to select the three of them and I'm going to my align tab. I'm going to align them so that they have equal distance from each other. So like this. Just move all of them to where we can consider the center. Let's first of all, before I even change the color, let's move this back so that we can get the color we want to use. Now, where were we? For this one and this one, we can use our eyedropper tool here. Let's go to the place we can actually see it. So here, so I can use my eyedropper tool here. And I'm just going to pick this dark green color from here. So we have this cool looking animation here. Now, the next thing, I'm going to go to my shoe, drag and drop it, and let's scale it down. So I think it's going to be somewhere around 6 I used. Let's move it back to here. And I'm going to open up my rotation and I'm just going to rotate this until it looks like it's facing upward like this. Now let's just move it. Like this. Now I'm just going to duplicate it. And I'm just going to move it down. So I can select all these shoes like this, go to my align tab, and I'm just going to align them until all of them are equal distance from each other. So like this. I can left click this and pre-compose all these shoes, move all attributes, blah blah blah. Okay. Now I'm going to click this continuous rasterize button here. Because if I don't click it, you can see it cuts out here. When I click it, you can see it continues down. That's what I need. Now I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to bring that down here, and I'm just going to move all that over to this side. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my scale. I'm going to unlink the scale and I'm just going to turn this into negative. So it goes the other way. Now you can duplicate this. I'm just going to move this to this side too. So we have this looking very, very cool. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the animation. So shape layer 1, shape layer 3 have the same animation. So we're going to open up our position, property, make a keyframe our position, and we're just going to move it down around here. Now, at the beginning here, we are just going to move it upward like that. Now we come to around 315 here, and for our pre-comp 6 here, these two layers here and here, we open up our position also, make a keyframe our position, and we're just going to drag this down a little bit more. Do something like this, and I'm going to come back to the beginning of my timeline here, and I'm just going to drag all these shoes out. Now for the one in the middle, now is the opposite you're going to do. Open the position here, open the position here. You're going to come down to around 215 here, make a keyframe on our shape position, come back to the beginning here, and I'm just going to drag it this way. Now for my shoe like this, I'm going to make keyframe my position. You can move it down to around 315, and I'm just going to drag this down. Let's come down to 315 here, and let's just still move this up. What I'm going to do now is you're going to select all these ones here, all these keyframes here, hit F9 to easy ease, open up our graph editor, select them, and I'm just going to drag them to the front like this. So now I'll try my possible best for these longer ones here. This stay here. Let's open up our graph editor for these ones. Now I'm going to select this beginning, and I'm just going to move this back a little bit more so it matches the motion of. Okay, let me look at this again. Okay, it became too fast, so let's move this back. Let's see that again. It became too fast. Sorry. Select this, move this back a bit. A little bit needed, push it in a little bit more. Now let's come like a few frames here before 315, and I'm going to select everything that was part of this layer, this part of this scene. Ctrl+Shift+D, delete the excess, so we have it looking like very cool like that. Cool. Now let's select everything here, left click, pre-compose, call that scene 2, move on to the next one. So the next thing is very easy. I'm just going to reuse one of my resource from the other video I did, and that is going to be this new shoes collection animation right here. So I'm just going to copy this, come back, and I'm going to paste it here. So let's move it down here. Now let's open it up. I think it has some masks in it, so I need to just delete the masks. Okay, let's come to where it ends. So it ends here. Now scale it up a bunch, like a whole bunch, and let's move it. Okay, so let's open up our position. So I would make it keep my position here, come down to around 415 here, and I'm just going to drag Jesus. And I'm just going to drag this in a bunch. Now let's move this down by one frame. Ctrl+Shift+D. Can delete the remaining one here. So next thing I'm going to do now is my next thing. Now I'm going to use this scene that I made live the other day. So I'm just going to move it back here. So it's going to be this scene next. Can watch out the video. Can watch for the video. Can watch the video, and I think it's going to work until play until somewhere like here. Like here. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my final animation entirely. So I'm just going to unlock this layer here, and I'm going to duplicate it. Now I can unlock the one that is on the back, and I'm just going to move it up here, and I'm going to move it back until it starts somewhere like this. You understand? Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Nike logo here, and let's move it to the back. Now I'm going to open up my scale. So let's go down to somewhere around here and make a keyframe on my scale, and let's scale this down to 10. Now come back to the beginning of my timeline here, and I'm just going to increase this until it covers everything on the screen. Now I'm going to toggle between modes here, and I'm going to change the track matte to my Nike PNG layer here. So when you play it back, you have the Nike PNG layer only, but this can be adjusted simply by just clicking this, so you can invert the marks. So you now have this cool looking transition like this. We'll select this, hit F9 to easy ease, open up our graph editor like this, and let's just drag this inside like this. Let's do that again. I'm going to my pen tool here, and I'm just going to make sure nothing's selected. I'm just going to trace out this Nike logo. Now let's shut off our fill, and let's increase our stroke like this. Now let's open this up, add a trim path animation. Now this is where I want the trim path animation to start from. Let's move this back here, and let's open this up again. Open up content, shape, trim paths, and make a keyframe on our end, and just move it down. Then take this down to 0. So let's select this, hit F9 to easy ease, open up our graph editor, and just adjust it like this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the layering and just move it below this our background layer here. So once we'll have this swoosh. Now what I can do is I can duplicate this 2 more times, and let's just offset it. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go like this. We're going to change this middle color here to yellow. Let's make it bright yellow, and let's make the first color, so that is going to be this one, right? Not the last one. Let's make the first color. Let's pick that color that we used for this thing. Let's pick the color we used for this part of the shoe. So this color right here. So now I'm playing back. Think about in that video. What do you think? Let me know in my comment section. If this video has helped you in any way, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And now that I've learned how to make this amazing animation, why don't you check out this one right here, where you can take a crack at learning this one right here, and I'll catch you in that video. So from now to the next video, remember, improve every day, grow constantly, and dream endlessly. Love you guys. Woo! Come on, this light setup is dope.